Um, There we go. Great. So yes, thank you so much for doing this, Mim. If I jump straight into the first question, could you talk me through kind of what your biggest challenges and frustrations were before we started our work together?
Yeah, there was a lot of them. How long have we got? So I think one of the biggest things for me that stands out is that I felt like I'd tried everything. And I was very much sort of having that battle with feeling like GPs weren't understanding me, these medical professionals that, claimed to be the fix everything, we'll do everything for you. Nothing was working. So I'd sort of lost faith, and I'd sort of accepted, I think, that this is just me and this is how my life's going to be. Um, and then it was almost that frustration with myself that I was just sort of, I've tried everything, nothing's worked. So this is just how it is now. And almost that guilt of feeling like I'd neglected myself because, I tried all these things, they weren't working. So that was a real big challenge. And then I think obviously there's all the physical symptoms as well, which a challenge with feel like I was quite symptomatic, and I almost felt like things that I was seeing success stories for other people, and I just didn't see that could be me, because I'd tried everything. I'd got my pharmacy at home with all the supplements and all the things that I thought I should be doing. So it was that frustration almost at other people as well, that why can they have this and I can't.
And Mim, what would you say your relationship was like with food and your body before we started working together, and how has this changed?
They were really negative. So I think I was sort of stuck in that binge restrict cycle. I had a really poor relationship with food. I was very much sort of restricting myself in the day so I could have them sort of emotional binges at the weekend. I was sort of restricting myself to the point where my blood sugars were all over the place. It was impacting my work, my relationships. I'd got no energy. Um, just really negative. And I think trying to undo all of those years of like poor diet culture has definitely been a journey. But I feel like my relationship with food now is positive. I enjoy food. I find it exciting. Um, and I think that it is life changing. I think my energy levels are one of the biggest thing, and my want and my desire to keep sort of on this sort of journey of progress is there now. Um, so yeah, that's been really interesting.
And what did you enjoy most about working with me in overcoming your PCOS and managing your symptoms?
I think one of the things that I've enjoyed the most is just getting to understand. I thought that I was really in tune with my body and my hormones and what my body needed, but I think almost getting to know a different version of myself has been one of my favorite things. I feel like I'm so in tune with what my body needs now, and what it's craving, and that sort of relationship with myself, not just with food and sort of understanding PCOS, but understanding myself as well. I feel like um, your support has been very much around sort of my relationship with food and understanding PCOS, but it's been so holistic as well. And there's been a lot of sort of that accountability and sort of me recognizing areas within myself on this journey. So I feel like I've got a better relationship with myself than ever as well. And I like myself now. I like myself enough to want to feed myself the right things and feel amazing, and yeah, it's honestly life changing.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. And yeah, to hear you talk so positively about yourself, it's just, yeah, it's just such a, like you say, it's life changing, right? You mentioned that it's transformed your relationship with yourself, but I think the relationship, like you said, with the people around you as well, because you feel so good within yourself.
Definitely.
And yeah, that's just incredible. What has changed for you since working together in how you approach your PCOS?
Everything. I think the way that I approach my PCOS is a lot different now. I think because I have that understanding. I think before there was so much, I felt I'd exhausted everything, and there was so much advice out there, and people that claim to be professionals in everything, and you put this trust into people, and then when things don't work, it's just another thing to sort of check off that hasn't worked for you. So I think I was feeling really, really lost. And I think having that clarity and that understanding and that guidance and that someone to hold me accountable and sort of talk through all these areas has been so helpful. And I think having someone that genuinely sits and listens, not just about the physical symptoms, but emotionally as well, was something that I was missing before. It's something where, you know, you have a 15-minute appointment with a GP and that's it, off you go. Whereas you've taken the time to get to know me and my lifestyle, and my quirks and the things that do and don't work for me. And you've created such a bespoke sort of package of support. And I don't think I'd have been able to sort of find that on my own. I'd become very overwhelmed, and I thought that I knew everything because I'd done so much research, but I actually knew nothing because I'd got all this information that just I didn't know what to do with it. The impact that it's had on my relationship with my partner, with my family, my relationship with my hobbies and things that I used to enjoy doing that I didn't have the energy to do anymore. So I'm able to do them things again and want to do them. So wanting to socialize and go out and you know, get in the garden and go out and enjoy doing a food shop, to sort of just getting out. And I think that was something I never thought I'd have. I just thought, you know, I've not got the energy, it's making me feel rubbish, I don't want to go, I'm feeling really low. To where I am now, it's just a different person. And people have commented, and one of the lovely things is that I think I was using a benchmark for my success journey. My weight was a benchmark, whereas that's the last thing now. And one of the nicest compliments that I've been getting from people is you've got a glow and an energy about you. So it's definitely sort of showing, whereas before it was very much, you know, commenting on my physical appearance, and it isn't that now, which is amazing. So yeah.
The next question is, what changes have you noticed since starting the protocol?
So I think the biggest change for me is feeling more balanced and in line. So the way that I want to feel and the way that I feel are now lining up. So my energy levels, I'm feeling less fatigued, my hormones feel balanced, which was a massive thing for me. I've not had a meltdown in months and months and months, which is just amazing. I feel less anxious. I feel more in control of my own body, which I know sounds quite bizarre, but I almost felt like who I was mentally and who I was physically weren't the same person, and they are now. I'm not sort of experiencing sugar lows, which was a big thing for me, and that was impacting, you know, my daily life. I'm just every area, my skin, my well-being, every area of my life that was problematic has seen an improvement, which again I just never thought was something that was going to be possible. So
yeah. And your cycles, right? We got your cycles back as well, which is also a big win.
Yeah, that was a massive thing for me. So I would go, I think there was one year where I had 2 cycles in that year. And I think one of those was a medicated one. So the fact that I am now sort of 4 months consecutively having a cycle is absolutely amazing. Because I think one of the anxieties for me was, you know, am I going to struggle with my fertility? And that was something that was sort of looming over me as well. So I think even sort of for future planning, the impact that this support program has had emotionally is just amazing. You know, it's taken that pressure off.
Absolutely. And I think going into such a big, what's the word? Kind of a momentous, or not momentous, I'm not going to get to the right word now, but kind of going into this phase of life where you're getting married next year and starting a new chapter, to have that reassurance, and remove one of those kind of really big anxieties, right, is great.
Definitely. And I think it was one of them things as well, because it had become such a huge thing of like, you know, will I, won't I, can I, can't I was putting so much pressure on it that I think it would have got to a point where it would have started to impact my relationship, and it's just a whole process then. So I think just the sort of knowing of actually, you know, I can be fixed. That's how I felt. I felt that I was broken, and now I'm not. Which wasn't the case at all. You know, it's just that I needed that guidance and that support and that understanding from someone as well, because I was very much met with, you know, you'd have these conversations with GPs, and it's like, don't worry about that, just come back when you want a baby.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, that's not helpful. So just being listened to and understood, I think for me is just such a huge thing that was missing.
Yeah.
So
And what would you say to somebody who's thinking about working with me but isn't 100% sure?
the way that I saw it was that the biggest investment I can ever make is in myself. And I'm so glad that I did. I think I'm glad that I gave myself the opportunity to help myself. And that was sort of the first step for me in terms of that almost healing process of doing something for myself. And if I could go back and do it again, I would. Um, you know, it's an investment in yourself, and it's the best investment that you can ever make. And I very much felt that if something, you know, wasn't quite working for me, that you were able to sort of tailor that and bespoke that to make it work for me. So it was never not going to be a positive journey. So I think if I could sort of advise anyone who's querying, it would be to possibly be quite open with you. I felt you were so approachable, Jodie, that if I was having any apprehensions around, you know, is this going to be right for me? I felt that I could sort of ask you that, and you'd be very honest in saying, you know, yes, or actually maybe we need to try this. So just reaching out and asking those questions.